All right, so I want to look at the things that we like that are unlikable. This will be the game. You're going to look at the things that you like that are unlikable, if there are any things that you're specifically drawn to. And here's how you look. It's really probably the quickest and easiest way to look is in your entertainment, right? The books that you read, the shows that you watch, the songs that you listen to. If you take that realm of stuff and what kind of stuff always pulls you in, what kind of stuff are you drawn to, what kind of themes always show up, what are you a sucker for? Are you a sucker for, this sort of sad stuff where everything is sad and depressing and the love story is going to end in tears, and you like that sad flavor? I mean, and it's totally fine to like that sad flavor. That's kind of the point, is like giving ourselves permission to like, hey, we consider these things unlikable, but we totally do like them. And guess what? You're not the only one. Otherwise, there wouldn't be tons of shows and books and songs with this flavor. I mean, of course, you could say, well, it's because we all experience these things, and that's just like a part of the flavors of life. And absolutely it is. That's why none of them are unlikable. In a way, and maybe we are looking at these things because they remind us of our life or they're a contrast of our life, but this is all part of the inquiry process here. It's like, all right, let's just look. What kind of stuff do I like? What are my flavors? What are my flavors? Do I love the sad stuff? Do I love the angry stuff, where there's just like some really bossy character who's pissed at life, or the music is pissed? Or is it that anger at self stuff? Is it that self-sabotaging, I am my own worst enemy? I like make jokes all the time because I have a friend who listens to music that is always like, I am my own worst enemy. And I'm just like, okay, and it's not my flavor. It's not my flavor, but that is totally this person's flavor. That's like what he likes that is unlikable, but we all have our flavors of the unlikable that we're sort of fascinated with. I mean, we might not even be drawn to them because we like them, but we're fascinated with them somehow, because like sometimes when you use the word like, you want to resist it. You're like, no, I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like sad movies, but I just like it when they're heartfelt, and usually that brings tears. Like, okay, cool. If you're resisting that thing to say that you actually like it, then cool, but switch it then. Maybe make it the word fascinated. Are you kind of fascinated with it, though, in some sort of way that you can't even explain? Because, man, you're always watching sad movies, or you're always listening to music that's got, this really sort of heartbroken flavor or whatever. So let's see. I got some more examples because there's just like a huge plethora of like unlikable things that show up in entertainment, and it's like, and clearly people like it. The downtrodden. Like, do you like stories of somebody who's the underdog and he's like been so mistreated, or that sort of rising from the top, even though everybody's just beating you down? That could be a flavor that you like. Or do you enjoy, and that could be because you like seeing the human will, and that's cool, because that's what we're going to do, is like look at what might also be in there. I mean, once you start recognizing your flavors, you might be like, oh, okay, I see what's connecting in here. I get that, because I do like the human will. Or do you love things where there's someone that needs to be rescued? Someone who's just like powerless and they've gotten to the final end of their rope, and like, or, everything is just going to end, and so then something has to be done, some grand gesture, some rescue, some hero has to like come in and have all the power contained in them when nobody else can really do anything about it. And you look at this person as the one and only, like powerful thing, hero, do you like that flavor, and what's in that? Do you feel, powerless, or, like you want a rescue? I mean, sometimes wanting a rescue can be like, yeah, like a fantasy, you know, like, wow, that would be so great, you know? Or is it more like your fantasy is to be that one and only all-powerful thing that is the hero that does all the stuff that nobody else can do? And I think we all kind of have that. So that, or another one I can think of is that the world's going to hell in a handbasket thing, where it's like you watch these shows where you're just like on the edge of your seat, or you read these books where everything's on the brink of destruction for the entire time, and the world's going to hell in a handbasket, and there's like so much stress and emergencies and fires popping up everywhere, and like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. You know, do you like that flavor? Do you like that, you know, stay on the edge, stressed, like the world's going to hell in a handbasket? And I think that one's kind of interesting to look at, because if you think of it, well, if everything's about to end, like right then and there, and everything's on the brink of destruction, how important does it make that moment? Like, it makes that moment extremely important. And that here and now, you know, that moment seems very tangible and real and purposeful. And so maybe, you know, whatever, maybe your life seems like boring and mundane, and like there's not a lot of purpose or obvious importance in any given moment, and you are like so relieved to have this counter example of the like, wow, things are really important in that moment. Or maybe you do set your life up that way and you're like putting out fires all the time because you love importance. You love each moment to have a load of importance. And so, you know, that's the thing. And this is what I'm saying. This is how we inquire. This is how we kind of dig in there deeper and just like discover new stuff about ourselves and connect some dots and be like, oh, okay, interesting. And plus it's just amusing. It's amusing to laugh at yourself and to see like, oh man, that's it. I'm always after those dark romances where they're like hurting each other and they're like, you know, fighting with each other and always one-upping each other on whether they can hurt the other one greater. And like, oh yeah, that's kind of a unlikable thing that I clearly like, because I totally gravitate towards those. And, you know, it's a flavor that I like. Or do you like scary? Do you like to feel that like edge of fear? Is that a flavor that's the unlikable thing? Or do you like there to be just these like deep, mysterious, like you're left wondering the entire time in this like state of confusion, like what's even going on? What's the mystery? Who is that character? What's happening? You know, do you like that flavor? Do you like the flavor of people putting each other in a lower place, like putting each other in their place, like, you know, insulting each other or having quippy remarks back and forth, or, you know, the mystery finally getting solved, or totally unsolvable things like coming together anyway, you know, or this really difficult push up a hill, this like impossible climb, this impossible feat, you know, or even another one would be like gluttony. Do you love just the flavor and shows and books and music that are just about excess and totally you know, doing nothing but having everything handed to you? Do you like old royalty shows, or, you know, just like excess and, you know, sort of gluttony in that way? Or maybe, drama, just petty drama, you know, where people are always getting at one another, backstabbing each other, you know. Oh, you can't lie. You're always watching, you know, whatever, some show that has to do with like fantasy or magic that's not anything to do with this world. And so what is that? Like, you want the world to be different, or, you know, even in those kind of fantasy stories, though, there is that like hero's journey kind of thing, like, because power is really cool and important to you, maybe. And so you love like the concept of magical powers, or the concept of one person having like a special power, which would make them the hero, you know. So anyway, I could go on. What are the flavors? There are so many, you see. Like, I'm sitting here just listing off tons of them. So it's so clear that these things aren't actually unlikable things, because we wouldn't just fill all of our entertainment. I mean, entertainment is entertainment. enjoyable kind of things that we do in our leisure time, we wouldn't fill them with this kind of stuff if there wasn't something that we were getting from them. They are actually likable, and there are flavors that you gravitate towards. So why not kind of like know that about yourself and ask yourself why, and like just look a little deeper in there. Own it. These flavors are fascinations. They're, being alive includes all of these things. And we love being alive. We love being alive because here we are. Being alive is an experience. It's not always pleasurable, but even the displeasurable stuff is a part of the experience, and we do like the experience. We are fascinated enough with the experience of being alive to like want to be alive, So anyway, we like all the colors. Like that's the real bottom line, is like, really, we kind of like all the colors. I mean, we have certain ones that we're more fascinated with, and we like all the flavors. But I think you get the idea. You are going to take note. List out your flavors. What are these flavors that you're drawn to? And then from this point forward, you will hopefully always notice, like, oh yeah, I've been really into those like thrillers likely. That's the flavor I've been drawn to. The unlikable fear. I just want to be stricken with fear. It's a likable or an unlikable thing that clearly I'm liking at the moment. And you just, put it in your back pocket of things that make you deeply close with yourself and able to enjoy yourself, and in great skill and navigation with yourself, because all of the points on the map. It helps you navigate life much better, I believe, when you know yourself. So anyway, see what you think.